just 10 minutes ago, up on that ridge right there, Bigfoot was throwing boulders down at us. We didn't have our phones. We ran back to the car to get them. I don't know if it's going to show up, but then after we were throwing boulders, we started hightailing it back here to the car, and then we saw it up on that ridge. So we don't really know where the Bigfoot is, but I'm sort of worried. There's a smell of skunkiness in the air. You can smell it. My hair is standing on end. It's like I have no idea where the thing is, and I'm totally flipped out. I just feel like I need to get out of here. See, I was up there on that ridge. See that 1, 2, 3, 4th branch up? It was at least as tall as that, and that's where it was throwing the boulders into the stream. Like I said, we were on the other side. It was terrifying. You know, I keep looking up here because as we were going to the car, I saw it up there looking at us. And if you look at the, see that? You imagine a Bigfoot up there, how immense it was. It was gigantic. See that one pine tree on the left-hand side? It was like as tall as that. It was absolutely huge. Absolutely huge. Camera. The only reason why I didn't have my camera with me is it was raining. So left the camera in the car, and it's almost like the Bigfoot knew that I didn't have the camera. It was right up there, and like throwing a boulder down, like we were on the other side, and it was throwing boulders down, just like crashing into the water. It was huge. There must have, like, when I'm looking at like how big it would be, like you see that the tree that's sort of like coming out of the cliff and going up. There's 1, 2, 3, they're like the 4th branch up. It must have been 10 feet tall, at least 10 feet tall. Definitely we're gonna go up there later, see if there's any footprints or any fur or anything like that, any physical evidence. But that was definitely a Bigfoot. It wasn't a bear. I know the difference. It wasn't a bear. And the smell that is in the air, it's crazy. It smells like a skunk. It smells real skunky, but it isn't a skunk. It's got to be a skunk egg. Smell is incredible. It's the craziest smell. If you've ever been around a Bigfoot, it reminds me of a skunk. It reminds me of a skunk or some like really powerful marijuana. That's what it smells like. Skunk weed, skunk ape. That's what it smells like. And as you see, it couldn't be marijuana of any kind because look, it's still winter. We're definitely coming back here to, you know, we'll probably have to camp out here to find out really what's going on. But I think it's important as far as like Bigfoot research goes that it was throwing boulders down. It seemed like it was a warning. It wasn't, you know, it's clearly if it wanted to do something to us when it was up on that ridge, it could have run down and tore us apart. Same thing. The boulders that it was throwing were huge. If it wanted to hit us with the boulders, it clearly could have. It just seems like it was a warning to get the hell out of here. It was like really racing. To say I was frightened is true. It was frightening. It was a frightening experience. But for some reason, I felt like the Bigfoot wasn't going to do anything other than like tell us to get lost. But I mean, I just feel like I need to calm down a little bit. We ran back to the car, and I think that has it was exciting. It was exciting to see a Bigfoot. If anybody's sure there's other people on this channel that have seen a Bigfoot, it's exhilarating, to say the very least. I mean, it's a big animal, it's a scary animal, but I really wonder if they're not that scary, they're more bluster than anything. This is Zandt Falls in New York State. Okay, that pine tree there, it was back on the ridge, but it looked like it was about the same girth and height. Seriously, it looked like it was that big, so it must have at least been 10 feet tall. It was hard to really tell over there, like, you know, because there were other trees and everything. I really couldn't get an idea of the size and girth, but this was closer, and it seemed like no exaggeration, it seemed like it was as wide as that pine tree. That's terrifying, so maybe I'm sort of exaggerating it in my head, but it was really big. It looked like it was the size of that pine tree. Sitting down, I almost feel sort of dizzy. It was pretty crazy.
It was. I can't explain it, man. Running back to the car to get the camera. It was like I was running so fast. There's a disappointment that I didn't get the Bigfoot on video. Absolutely. But knowing that they're here, I'm 100% sure that we can come back here and get Bigfoot on video. But I do. I feel like emotionally drained. I can't explain it. It's like, oh my! You see something like that, and you know, it's an incredible experience. I'm sure there's people on here that have seen it and understand what I'm talking about. It was like exhilarating just to see a Bigfoot, and then running back to that spot. With the camera. I mean, it could be anywhere, And that's another thing that sort of flips me out. It's like, you could see it walking down there by the... It's definitely Bigfoot country, for sure. Also, it's clear that there's been some jerks here doing graffiti. I know what that is. What are you doing that for? You think people want to see that? Grow up. I don't know where Destiny is now. I'm sort of worried about her. I don't see her. I don't know where she is. But like I said, I don't think the Bigfoot was. This is warning us. Like a bear. Maybe they have a cub with them or something. Maybe that's why we were being warned, but I don't see Destiny. She's sort of walking up this road, taking some pictures, and I don't see her. Let me go look for her. Destiny! Where are you? Oh, hang on, here she is. There you are. I couldn't see you. I was wondering where you were.
It's a lot.
Yeah. That's pretty cool. Like there's the whole right, and there's like a river running underneath it. You can see. It's really beautiful. I wonder if Bigfoot would be hanging out here. It's really great looking. I'm sure there's plenty for it to eat. There's a trail headed up that way. I don't know if that is like a, it looks like an animal trail. Maybe that's a Bigfoot uses that. We'll go up there on another day and see if we can find any prints or anything to verify. Well, not to verify, to see if we can find any prints. See this giant down tree right there? Just to tell you how big the Bigfoot was. I mean, it looked like if it was in that section, it could just pick the thing up. Maybe not swing it like a baseball bat, but it would be a big enough animal that it could move it. Like, it seemed like it was like the same girth as like an elephant. That's how big it was, like a pachyderm, like maybe like a rhinoceros. That's how big the animal is. Maybe not as big as an elephant, but that's what I'm trying to say by pointing out this down tree. It looks like it could definitely pick it up, and it would have the strength to have knocked it over for sure. That tire down there, it's trash, but if a Bigfoot picked that thing up, it could throw it like a frisbee, no problem. That's how big the animal is.